Well done, K-Mac there with Emma. So we get to the Oakleigh Plate today. It's 142nd running. March the 15th, 1884. The horse that won at Malua went on to win the Melbourne Cup. An incredible horse. So an Oakleigh Plate and a Melbourne Cup in the 1 year. Can you believe it? He won a Grand National Hurdle later in his life as well. Asphura today, well, this is how difficult it's going to be for her to carry 57.5. Since the metrics in 1973, 50 years ago, 6 mares have tried and none of them have been placed.
I think the best performed mare with 57 plus kilos was in 8th place, so it's a huge task for Asphura.
What about trainers trying to get their first Group 1? There's a whole list of them here, a lot of them in partnerships here too as well, Richo.
Yeah, Shane and Cassie Oxlade have got 2 runners in the race. Catherine Coleman, we've spoken to her before about her partnership with Peter Moody. Matthew de Kock, who is the partner of Robbie Griffiths, Ken and Casey Keys and Gavin Bedford.
So Lawrence Diasevich wins the Blue Diamond 11 years ago and Miracles of Life. We haven't seen her much in racing lately, but she's back with Chirippa, with Shane and Cassie Oxlade, doing all the track riding for their Lauren's over here today. So fitting that Jamie, another South Australian, becomes the second female to win a Blue Diamond Stakes.
That's right, and can Jamie win another? Can she become the first female to win 2 Group 1s in a day?
And these are the jockeys that are still looking for that first Group 1. What about Mitch Aiken today? Only arrived for the day. He stuck firm, Henry, with him. Mitch has got the job done. They took him off at one stage, brought him back. How big would that be for him?
Oh, it'd be incredible, wouldn't it? And our quality rider, it surprises all of us that he hasn't already won a Group 1. So the countdown, the moments before the speed test, it is the Oakleigh Plate. Penny for the thoughts of these jockeys. They've got to get their horse to bounce.
And only 2 jockeys in the race have actually won it. Dean Yendall recently, and Froggy's won it a couple of times. So they're the 2 jockeys. Willow looking for his first. He got his 76th Group 1 today on his favourite horse, Mr. Brightside. So all set, for a classic sprint. Exciting today to hear that Imperatriz has every chance she could get to the Newmarket now. That was the big news from Mark Walker. If the weights come out okay, she will go there. Kalos, well, 58's hard to carry. Flamberge has done it. He was so good in the Rubiton.
He actually meets Asphura a kilo better off for that performance with the weights and measures. That would surprise many people, and he defeated her. He'll get back. He'll flash down the outside. Can he give them a start and a beating in an Oakleigh Plate? That's the task.
He will be steaming home. Asphura, so close last year. She was the nominal favourite probably for the last couple of months.
You look at her very best performance. If you look at all the benchmark assessments from good judges like, Vince Accardi comes to mind, she can run a race about 5 lengths above the benchmark. She was only 1 length above it first up. She's got the ability to do it.
Only Group 1 winner in the race, Richo, Skew If, Campionessa's stablemate.
But 1,100 metres is the slight query for mine. A little Craig Williams masterclass from an inside barrier is going to be, can she keep up with them and then swoop late?
Well, the Boilermaker from Port Augusta with his daughter. So Shane and Cassie Oxlade. This would be extraordinary. Chirippa's come from nowhere, won 4 of his last 5.
Absolutely flying, and Craig Newitt has got the key to this guy. That win in both the Christmas Stakes but also the Standish was breathtaking. It's so easy. Why wouldn't he be the one to beat?
Lauren there, Lawrence Diasevich, a winner on Miracles of Life, as we said in the Blue Diamond. Chain of Lightning. Well, for Carleen Heffel here, I mean, how big again? And for Peter and Catherine.
This horse races really well fresh, so you get the advantage there. I mean, it's a big task, an Oakleigh Plate, but with 53.5 kilos, middle barrier for Carleen, she can run really well.
Carleen and Celine have been in the same sentence a lot over the last couple of years, haven't they, Richo? Here's Gaudry's turn here.
Yeah, Celine had a winner again last night. She's in red hot form. She had 1.5 kilo claiming apprentice. That won't last long. The Gene Sahale is really quick. The reality is, for me, though, I prefer him down the straight at Flemington. I
think he can run a race here, Richo. I'm not discounting him. On this day last year, Recommendation won the Sedative.
Is he good enough to win an Oakleigh Plate? Well, he's got the light weight and also an inside barrier with Declan Bates. He ran really well in the Australia Stakes behind V8 and Southport Tycoon. Both of them ran really well since.
Benedetta, we know she's got a turn of foot. She's a class filly. She never runs a poor race. Could Stacky break the duck here?
Yeah, that acceleration is going to be important. So Daniel Stackhouse will hold her up and burst through. She'd be one of the ones that are really rushing at them if there's enough speed in the race.
There's so much speed, but is Hypothetical the leader, do you think? I mean, she flew in the Rubiton, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, Brudenell can run really well as well.
Oh, sorry, I've jumped the gun.
Well, Brudenell can be on speed with Hypothetical. Could end up being an annoyance for Hypothetical. Considering what we saw in the Blue Diamond, I don't think any of us had the leader in that race. No one thought the Lady of Camelot wouldn't lead.
And what a run that was by Lady of Camelot. It may have made all the difference, Spywire coming across. So that was Brudenell. Here's Hypothetical.
Is she good enough? That's the query. I know she's right down at the bottom of the weights, around 52, but is she good enough? She'll be on speed.
You're asking that question a lot. There are 10 horses in this race having their first start in a Group 1. Not that they haven't won, having their first go in a Group 1. So it's a leap of faith with a lot of these horses. Len Picker finished last spring on a high set for this race.
This is my roughie. She can fly fresh. She was 100 to 1 in the early markets. She's been backed into around 40 to 1. She can fly for Ken and Casey Keys.
It's hard to believe that Shane and Cassie Oxley can have two runners in an Oakleigh plate. Here's Mornington Glory. God, I'm getting excited here. Now, he's a big roughie, but again, a horse that was retired, came back in form.
Footy fans will be barracking. Shane Crawford, Fraser Brown, Brett Ratton, all involved in this horse. We wish them all the best. Good on you, Crawford. Good luck.
Well, he comes in ripping form, but he is at the long odds of about 40 to 1. Here's Cumin, so he's the double up for Shane and Cassie Oxlade.
Is this the B grader for them, though, compared to Sugrippa? It's a really good B grader, to be fair.
He's an outstanding horse at the trip. He's got a lot less weight, but he is not as good. But he's got no weight on his back. That will help him. So Ray Magnerio, he's been a revelation.
It is quintessential Australian racing, isn't it? Big handicaps over a trip like this, and Ray Magnerio coming through benchmark races, plummets down into the weights, has 52, has a gun jockey on board, is in good form, but he's got to give 2 kilos to this 3-year-old colt by the name of King's Gambit. And Jamie Carr, inside barrier. I like the inside barrier because that will make this guy be all cluttered up, and then when he gets daylight, Jamie can burst through and win the race.
Let's had a good look at all of them. I might come to you first, Lizzie, for the Oakleigh plate.
I'm really keen to see how this horse, who has just been so promising, King's Gambit, goes. I think that he gets his chance today to get that Group 1 victory. And of course, this race has been a great race for horses who want to break that Group 1 duck. Uncommon James was able to take it out last year, and I reckon that King's Gambit has just got as much ability as a Group 1 horse. It's just about putting it together, Em.
And I think he finally is doing that. We saw that in the Roman Consul, where things just finally fell into place. He wasn't dodging shadows. He wasn't doing silly things. He was controlled by Tommy Berry on that day. Today, Jamie Carr gets the opportunity to win back-to-back Group 1s. Wouldn't that be some sort of story? I've always loved Asfoora. I didn't love her last start. I think she left me wanting a little bit more, but I do think that she's a Group 1 contender, and on it at her best, she can win this. And don't forget about Skew-If. She's a Group 1 winner. She was good in the spring. I reckon she can run a big race today.
Thanks, guys. Back to Sportsbet. JJ, the market mover.
Yeah, mammoth go here. Benedetta has been as short as $6, can you believe it? But just out to $7. But Benedetta has been a big go in the past 10 minutes. But King's Gambit, rock solid as your favourite here in the Sportsbet Oakleigh plate.
And King's Gambit has been loaded in the kind hands of Jamie Carr and an inside barrier. Think about what this race is worth for a 3-year-old colt like him. And straight away, you think of Star Spangled Banner, Schnitzel and Fastnet Rock. 3-year-olds that were able to win this race, and then they are worth many millions of dollars.
It's the best of the best, and in more recent times, as a 4-year-old Russian Revolution,
Correct.
Important to frank that Galaxy win. But you are so right, Richo. When you see Fastnet Rock and Schnitzel side by side in the honour roll of an Oakleigh plate. And the history, I mean, Emma, we've touched on it. You mentioned Jamie Carr back-to-back Group 1s, but Group 1 by 2, female rider, never done before in Australian racing for the first time. And for the Snowdens, for Peter, a 50th Group 1 win this would be. It beckons, so all on the line. And a colt would go from, well, worth $1 million or $2 million to worth 15 or 20. There's a lot riding here. It's got to be fast. The start's important. How soft can Carr's hands be here? how important can she be to the result of this race. Here we go. The Oakleigh Plate, 1884, 142nd running of the race that defines the fastest horses at Caulfield every year.
Field set. Ready to run. They stand well. They stand, he holds them. Najem Sahel wanting to lunge fractionally. Racing. Najem Sahel away fairly. Lempicker out well. Hypothetical fired out, being used up with Brudenell and Q-Man, and King's Gambit away quickly over on the fence. So it's Hypothetical leading Q-Man, followed by Brudenell, King's Gambit, and also our deeper Najem Sahel. Then came Mornington Glory, Recommendation. Ray Magnerio midfield. Skewiff on the rails from Benedetta. Lempicker, a length Chain of Lightning. Well back as Fura, Kalos and La Sharippa. Hypothetical 550 out by a length Najem Sahel, who's 3 wide. Q-Man next from Brudenell. A length away Recommendation, passed by Mornington Glory from King's Gambit. Benedetta, well back Ray Magnerio, Lempicker, Skewiff, Chain of Lightning as Fura, Kalos and Sharippa. Hypothetical 250 metres to go. Q-Man's getting closer on the outside. King's Gambit runs up behind them, just needs it out. Q-Man up to Hypothetical, then King's Gambit, Recommendation, and Kalos right down the outside. Q-Man up to Hypothetical, their heads in unison. Q-Man, I think, has won it from Hypothetical. Then came a wall of them. We had Benedetta, Brudenell, Mornington Glory, and they were followed by King's Gambit. Many chances for third, then Skewiff, Recommendation, Chain of Lightning, Sharippa, Najem Sahel as Fura, Lempicker and Kalos.
It's close. Cumin, you would think maybe the outside, Hypothetical the inside. It's Bob at the head. Who gets it up? Has the Boilermaker from Port Augusta got there, or had the Fabulous Freedman? It's the Boilermaker from Port Augusta, and Harry Coffey gets a second Group 1 win.
He only rides Group 1s when you're on course, Bruce. That's the rule with Harry Coffey. What a story this is. South Australian sprinting is quite remarkable in recent years and in recent weeks and in recent months. They are having an incredible run, and Shane and Cassie Oxlade, what a moment. You can train a Group 1. They've trained an Oakleigh Plate winner. That trifecta
unbelievable.
Will pay a fortune.
So Mornington Glory in for third, 13, 10 and 12. Not sure who's run fourth there, but that trifecta is going to get close to the all-time record. He came in with terrific form, Cumin. We know that, but in lesser company. He's won 5 of his last 6 now. It was a brilliant Oakleigh Plate. King's Gambit, every possible, I thought.
And Brudenell will be fourth if you don't mind.
Brudenell will be fifth. Now, we're about to talk to Shane in just a moment. We're about to go to a channel change, though, very, very shortly. This is quite remarkable, this story with Q-Man. I know that Shane got the horse given to him in a strange way. We'll ask him about all of that in a moment. But for New South Wales and Victorian viewers, time now to 7-2 to